In this video, we're going to be taking a look at making a small edit here to a recent design that we posted. Of course, all of our designs now come with the Sierra HotFix file format, and we have it set up for use with our Spangle machine. But of course, the Sierra HotFix is used with CAMS machines and Decor rhinestone setting machines. And recently, I had a question posed to me about how to go about making a change. I don't believe that this editing that I'm about to show you actually needs to happen in order to send to your CAMS machine. But if you want to make the change, it's pretty straightforward to do, although it's not readily available or readily knowledgeable how to go about actually making this change here in Sierra. So first, let me explain what's happening here. If we select some stones here, you can see these stones are showing here in the Sierra HotFix file as SS12 stones. Now, of course, we do all of our design work in CorelDRAW with our Easy Stone macro, and then we use the macro to convert it into the Sierra HotFix file format. However, when in that process of conversion, it takes what was an SS10 stone in CorelDRAW, and then through the transfer process, it now becomes an SS12 stone here in Sierra. And again, I don't think it's really that critical, but if we want to change those to 10SS here in Sierra HotFix, it's pretty straightforward to do. So let's talk about how to do that. So the first thing we want to do is go up to your Sort HotFix option, and you're going to get a window that looks like this. Now, initially, you're going to get all these little tiled squares. You can see them all here. A whole slew of them. And what we want to do is we want to sort those. So we're going to choose this option, Sort by Palette Order. Not sure why that's not by default, and I so wish it could be, but it's not. So at any rate, we go ahead and click OK. Go back into that Sort HotFix. And now you can see what it's done. It's made more sense of the design. Now this is a pretty simple design, so we only have two basic options. And basically what it's telling us is that from object 1 to object 870, that is one color, one stone size. And object 871 to object 972 is a different color or different stone size. In this case, it's a different stone size. So what we need to do is we just need to change the number 1 object to 870 to SS10. And so we would use our object manager to go about doing that. We select our first number 1 object, and we would scroll down to our number 870 object, hold our Shift key, come down here to the object inspector for the bead type, we would change that to 10. And just to show you, over here, if we go to 871, you can see 871 is 6. Okay. Visually, you won't see a whole lot happen here in the file because the difference between an SS12 and an SS10 is almost nothing. And of course, our machines really don't care so much about the diameter. What they really care about is the center point of a given object. So the machine is going to find the XY position of each and every stone in the design, and that's what it's going to set. And of course, we have to make sure that we're putting in the right size stones and so forth when we actually send it to our machine to actually go ahead and place these stones. So anyhow, that's the process. Now, I should point out, for those of you who may not know, the files are all set up. When we set up our files, we set up our files to work with our Spangle machine. So we know how big our HotFix tape is, and in this case we have a function in our Easy Stone macro that will place all these as many as possible on a single HotFix transfer sheet. Now, depending on what rhinestone machine you have, your HotFix tape may not be this big, so you may not be able to fit 2 to a sheet. But that's why you're going to see our files are set up specifically for our Spangle machine. Now, this is a pretty simple file, but some of the more complicated files, we actually do our color separations automatically. And I can give you an example of one of those. Let's go ahead and open a design and take a look at it so you can see it. Now this design is a little bit more complicated than your typical design. And this is really what I wanted to show you. If you're interested in working with our DSG files, we are setting these files up for use with our Spangle machine. And this design here, you can see here, it's a replicated pattern. And for each one of these star shapes here, we're using 3 different stone sizes. Okay, and so what we've done here is we've taken the one color, which in this case is the crystal and the OES, and we've laid it out all by itself. And then the rest of this, we would do a sheet of yellow, a sheet of blue, a sheet of red, and a sheet of green. The Spangle machine that we have does not work like a rhinestone machine. So we can't like suck the stones out and put new stones in and keep running. So when we set these files up, we're setting them up for use with our Spangle machine. So each color essentially has to be done separately because of the limitation of the Spangle machine. But for those of you who have a CAMS machine, we also include the full version of the design. So you can go ahead and produce this design as you would any other, and then you would just disregard the color separations over here for that you'd use for your Spangle machine. And you may choose to use these too. So it just kind of depends on how you want to go ahead and produce the design, but we give you both options essentially. So it's really up to you what you want to do there. But I just wanted to explain what to expect with those DSG files and why we have all these separated out. It's really for use with our Spangle machine. And we have customers too that have Spangle machines, and have this already set up for them. Because with our Spangle machine, we have a 6-color Spangle machine, and we have only one of the 6 colors set up for 4mm. So in this case, we have a design that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors of 4mm. So they have to be done separately because we only have one punch in the machine. So that explains why the design files are set up the way they are. And now you should be able to make the edits by going in and sorting your HotFix stones first, and then you can change the stone size or colors or whatever you need to do from there. Thanks for watching.